Hello and welcome to Dear Ijay. This is where we add value to your spirit, body, mind, and soul. Join us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And yes, we are also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember, no pretense, no judgment. So this is how it works. People write in about a problem or a challenge. We share the summary of their writing and try to help with suggestions. I am a trained psychologist, and combined with human experience, I hope to be of help. Let's go there. Okay, today it reads, Dear Ijay, my name is Earl. I don't think that's his real name. Anyway, which of my women should I trust more in my life? I have a problem. My wife is very religious, and all I get from her are Bible quotations to problems that need common sense. I do have a girlfriend. I'm very happy with her, but she's too young. There are certain things I cannot discuss with her. She has no interest in sports, no understanding of politics, and definitely no experience with business. And then I have a third option. She's a married woman, but we have no sexual ties whatsoever. But I love her company. She's very matured, very successful in business. She understands politics. She's sports inclined. We talk about every and anything. Unlike my wife, she does not have biblical solutions to my problems. She's a Christian, but she talks in practical terms. So the friendship is robust. But again, we respect each other's boundaries. There is no sexual ties at all. I've known this woman for 12 years. I've had my girlfriend for 2 years, and I've been married to my wife for 21 years. The problem now is, as time goes on, I don't know who I really should be leaning towards, because I'm getting older and I keep drawing closer to this married woman that I have no sexual ties to. However, my relationship with my wife is highly strained. She spends most of her time in church. She understands her pastor more than she does me. She reveres him more than myself. And sometimes I feel guilty complaining because she tells me that I'm competing with God. The truth is that the young lady who is my girlfriend can be replaced at any time. Because she's young, she enjoys me for the money and support I give to her, and she has very little capacity to meet my needs. But I need companionship. I crave company. I feel lonely even within my marriage. I wish I could find everything and all things that I need from my wife. Is it at all possible to find a woman or a partner that has all your needs in her, so you would not be tempted, or should I say I would not be tempted to look elsewhere? Please advise. Wow, this is loaded. Again, like we usually do, I want to thank you for writing in, for showing vulnerability. What you wrote about is very common. I want you to know that, both for men, women, dating, married. Why? Because there's a misconception, and you're giving me an opportunity to discuss the misconception. The misconception is that somehow when you're married, that this person you're married to comes loaded with all of your desires, your wants, your everything. It is impossible. In one of our episodes, I talked about the 80-20% rule. This also would apply. What does that mean? You should even this is for people who are not even married. Write down the qualities you want. Say 10 qualities you want in a partner. And choose 3 that you can live with or you can manage if you don't get it. And then start looking for the person who has the 7, knowing that those 3 might actually happen. Why? Because if you don't look at it that way, society gives the impression that somehow when we marry somebody who we know is not perfect, that they come perfectly wired to match us. It's not possible. What we're looking for is complementary wiring. That means that perhaps the person comes with 80% perfect fit and some 20% doesn't fit well, if you're lucky. I think 80% is the max. If you're lucky, it could be 70, it could be 60, but what matters is that there is an overwhelming part of that person that complements who you are. So they bring the qualities that you need and you appreciate. But you must make room for that percentage which they don't have. Now let me ask, does that mean you find a partner per flaw? So if your wife doesn't have A, you gotta look for a woman who has A. Then that woman will have the things your wife has, but then that woman will also have some other things that your wife doesn't have. So you're gonna find how many people are you going to have in your life? Your partner can't have everything you want from a human being. None of us can, including you. You'll be surprised when she looks at you, she's like, I wish he was holier. I wish he was more religious. I wish he knew the Bible more. Those are also her desires that you're not meeting. So she has to manage that. Having said that, I want to use this opportunity to also address women out there who use religion to avoid building healthy relationships with their spouses. A lot of people are guilty of that. Men do it as well. You use religion to cascade the ineptitude within your relationship instead of addressing them. So everybody has a calendar, they're going about their business, and instead of going out on a date with your spouse once a week, you use all your evenings are occupied with religious activities. Be intentional. Be intentional. And let me give you a relationship hack. The best time to have the most uncomfortable conversations about fundamentals in your relationship is when you're happy, not when you are in the middle of an argument, because you will end up being hurtful and nobody's going to listen to you. But when everybody's happy and you say, honey, there's something I really think we should talk about. I know it's uncomfortable, but we're both happy and I want us to look at it objectively. And when you're doing that, watch your tone. But timing is everything. In the middle of an argument is not a good time to raise fundamental issues. So please don't have this conversation about church and priorities in the relationship in the middle of an argument. Why would you even add the married woman to the equation since you say you have no sexual ties? Or are you planning? Do you have an ulterior motive for that? I want to thank you for giving us an opportunity to talk about that. Because there's this thing, some people believe that men and women cannot be friends. I beg to differ. Men and women cannot be friends because originally men worked and women stayed at home. But the way the world is, it's impossible for men and women not to find themselves nurturing some kind of friendship or acquaintance. I don't want to call it friendship, acquaintance. Take, for instance, if you work in a bank, you're going to meet people of both sexes. So the issue is not about the gender of the person. The issue is about boundaries. If you're in politics, definitely is inundated with men. If you're in business and you're climbing up, is inundated with men, and you're a woman, there's no way around it. So you're going to make acquaintances, right? It is the boundary. I always tell people it takes 2 to tango. You say there's no sexual ties. And I can tell you that if you have the ulterior motive and the woman does not have the ulterior motive, nothing will happen between the two of you. Nothing. Because it takes 2. 2 of you have to be on the same page. You say both of you are conscious of that and you watch your boundaries. That is good. But now that you're putting her in the equation, I'm beginning to challenge your motive. Because she shouldn't even be in the landscape of what you're asking. The landscape should be those people you're in intimate relationship with. So that brings us to another chapter. intimacy is not just physical intimacy. What I sense is that you are emotionally intimate with this married woman, and that's why she's part of the picture that you're painting. So you need to check that, since it's something you're not interested in. Sometimes men have multiple women because they are fighting the demon within. Promiscuity is not necessarily a sign of man being manly. And I think there was an episode here, you need to go and watch it. I talked about polygamy. They say men are polygamous by nature, and I challenge that. I think human beings are polygamous by nature. The difference is when you decide to get married, you have taken a supernatural commitment where you are saying that I am not going to be polygamous, I'm going to be monogamous, which is a discipline that takes both psychological, social, and spiritual understanding to hold on to. So what is not natural is monogamy. That's why it's a challenge. But if it's polygamy, while being polygamous, you can say that we're all polygamous. But I also reminded people on that podcast that polygamy is about marriage. It's not about conduct. Polygamy is a sociological terminology that covers marriage. I don't want to repeat that episode, but please go and watch it. So, in all, sir, with all due respect, I want you also to work on yourself. Because perhaps your wife is not even the issue. Perhaps your girlfriend is not the issue. And certainly the married woman is not your issue. Your issue is, first of all, to find out what your needs are. And ask yourself if your wife is able to meet she can't meet all of those needs, and don't use what she cannot meet as justification for cheating on her. Use it as clarity as to the aspects you need to manage. But I think, Mr. Earl, I really think you need to have a serious conversation with her about her priorities when it comes to you and the church. I want to encourage Mr. Earl and all the men out there to start taking out time to really ask yourself, what is the real reason why you need multiple women around you? Because if you dig deep, it has more to do with your understanding of your self-esteem and your self-worth than anything else. And please be careful, there are diseases out there. You don't want to expose your wife to diseases. You don't want to expose your girlfriend or whoever else you engage with. Because as we say here, keep it healthy, be happy, be healthy. Please, please, please. On that note, like, share, and subscribe to Dear Ijay on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Remember, be healthy. I've said it. Be happy, and please keep it positive until next time. That's it from me. Thank you very much.